Thank you, Judy. I'm Larry Martin from Pickens County, and I also chair the Senate Judiciary Committee in the State Senate, and previously actually chaired the Joint Legislative Committee on Domestic Violence. As I was listening to Judy talk and think about the things that we can do in Columbia to help, the various, and I want to talk just briefly about what we've tried to do and some of the things that are pending, but the big thing that I wanted to emphasize this morning, just based on my hearing testimony over the years, as we have heard from folks from around South Carolina on what it takes and what can be done to help deal with this serious problem. And it's just so disappointing to me to see the statistics back up there, that South Carolina's back where we don't want to be. We've made progress. We were going down, and now we're back up. What Judy pointed to a while ago, because of all the collaboration that is going on with law enforcement and the various groups that are dealing with the domestic violence issue, and shelters that are around our communities now that we didn't have 10, 15, 20 years ago. The best thing we can do is report it. There was a case over in Pickens County recently that just floored everyone, where the individual killed his stepson, killed his wife, and then killed himself. And the thing that I remember about that news report that really pulled at my heartstrings was the fact that a neighbor, folks that knew the folks, didn't know that there was any problem. But a neighbor had continually heard things, and it indicated that on the newscast. Well, you know, there's something constantly going on. That shouldn't happen. Calls need to be made. That major needs to get a call with the police department, the local sheriff's department, and that's what it's going to take. You know, we can pass all the laws in the world, but if it's not reported, there's not a thing that can be done. And as Judy pointed out, it's it's something that starts out small, and it just keeps escalating, and into a much bigger problem. That's one of the reasons, one of the things that we had this year that didn't make it through. We've sent it over to the House twice. Don't want to fault my House colleagues, Congressman. You know how that is. We'll put blame where it's due. But it's a bill called Civil No Contact Orders, where post-sentence, and sometimes, you know, particularly first offense, where someone has been sentenced to a very short period of time, the victim may feel that, look, there's a serious problem with my safety, this person being out, being in the community, and they get a civil no contact order post-sentence and get something in place to protect them from further contact with that perpetrator. And we continually have problems with that over on the other side of the hall, but it's something that I intend to keep pushing. The help, Judy, for local solicitors, the funding, and my colleague from Oconee can talk a little bit about that, who's on the Finance Committee. But one of the things we learned in our study committee discussions, and we actually put some money in the budget for local prosecution of criminal domestic violence, because it's important to have the lawyers to assist law enforcement from the solicitor's level, because you can be assured the defendant's going to have a lawyer there. And you need to have that, and we need to provide for that in that first offense magistrate's court situation or summary court, so that we can ensure that justice is done. And you can't ensure that justice is always done if you don't have the legal ammunition in order to pull that off. So that's something that I'm committed to continue trying to do. Also, we had a choking and strangulation bill that we were able to get out of committee this year, and that's one of the things. You know, people ask, as we brought this bill through the committee, they said, well, why do we need to do this? You know, what's the, you know, that's assault and battery. I mean, Congressman, being the former solicitor that you are, that's assault and battery. Why do we need to do this? Well, why not do it? Why not do it if strangulation and choking, which you and I both know can lead to that escalating event that can kill someone. If a victim can make a police report and a person be charged with choking and strangulation, doesn't that make good sense? And it's just a common sense thing with me, and I can tell you, we passed the bill, and I know the Congressman's going to talk about this, to put us in compliance with the federal Violence Against Women Act. We did that a couple years ago as part of our study committee effort. We've made some positive changes. We're going to continue to work to address this problem in whatever way we can at the state level. But it's a community issue. It's not a top-down Washington, Columbia issue to the extent that we're going to address this thing in any tangible way without the cooperation of all the folks in this room, whether it be law enforcement, the various agencies that deal with this, more importantly, the safe locations that these women, like Safe Harbor and Mary's House, that women can go to and have a safe place, a safe haven, if you will, to go to, and not feel that there's no way out, because there is a way out. There is a way to address it. So with that, I'm going to yield the balance of my time, and thank you so much for being here.